afternoon and welcome to Baina Midday News. We're bringing to you live from our news hub, Atomic Junction, Benab House, Accra. My name is Fauzi Abdullah. Coming up in this news bulletin. Former Finance Minister Dr. Mohammed Amin Adam insists President Mahama has vindicated the NPP on CD appreciation. And also 1 dead, 3 police officers injured in Dominasi drug raid. And on the international front, Tanzania blocks access to X following cyber attacks on government accounts. There's some more coming up in the next few minutes. Do stay. You're welcome back. We're streaming live on Facebook and on YouTube at Baina TV. Now moving on to our very first story, Chief Justice Gertrude Tokonu has filed an interlocutory injunction at the Supreme Court seeking to halt the work of the 5-member committee established by President Mahama to inquire into the 3 petitions against her removal from office. Gertrude Tokonu also wants the court to restrain Justice Gabriel Scott Pwamang and Justice Samuel Kwame Adibu Esiedu from participating in the proceedings of the committee established to inquire into the petitions against her.
In the suit filed on May 21, 2025, Justice Gertrude Tokonu is requesting the court for an order to restrain the committee from taking any action in connection with the prima facie case determined against her. In her notice of motion, the suspended Chief Justice is seeking the court to issue an order to quash her suspension, which was issued by President Mahama in accordance with the Constitution. The suit names the Attorney General and Minister of Justice, Justice Gabriel Scott Pwamang, Justice Samuel Kwame Adibu Esiedu, Daniel Yaodomlevo, and other members of the committee as defendants in the case. Yesterday, the Supreme Court, by a 4-1 majority decision, dismissed an application brought before it by a private citizen, Theodore Kofi Atakwati, challenging the process to possibly remove the suspended Chief Justice, Justice Gertrude Tokonu, from office. The suit filed by her legal team at Dame and Partners is expected to be moved at the Supreme Court in the coming days.
Moving on, the government of Ghana has rolled out a new visa policy that will see applications processed within a maximum of 5 working days, a drastic reduction from the previous 4 to 6 week time frame. Announcing the policy, Minister for Foreign Affairs Samuel Akudzeto Ablakwa said the directive takes immediate effect and is aimed at repositioning Ghana as a premier destination for tourism, business and investment in Africa. According to Akudzeto Ablakwa, systems have already been deployed across Ghana's diplomatic missions worldwide to ensure smooth and efficient implementation of the expedited regime. The move follows President John Dramani Mahama's inaugural pledge on January 7, 2025, that Ghana is open for business. The Foreign Ministry noted that this policy gives practical meaning to that vision by removing long-standing bureaucratic barriers that have frustrated travelers and investors. However, the ministry emphasized that the new timeline does not guarantee automatic approval. The expedited policy is expected to boost tourism, attract foreign direct investment, and encourage greater engagement with the Ghanaian diaspora. Further in this news bulletin, Chief Disaster Control Officer at the National Disaster Management Organization, NADMO, Alhaji Mohammed Chafaram, has cautioned against building houses on waterways as Ghana transitions into the rainy season, a period known for heavy rainfall and widespread flooding across the country.
Recent torrential rains in Accra and many parts of the country have already displaced more than 3,000 residents, leaving communities struggling to find shelter. Speaking on Baina TV's morning show Tsarin Safiya, Alhaji Mohammed Chafaram disclosed that building on waterways and the obstruction of the natural flow of rainwater has been the leading cause of flood.
Kuna gini wurin da bai kamata ba. Wanda ginin da muke yi yake kana tsarewa magudan wani. Kuna gini kuma wurin da bai kamata mu ba shine da Allah ya halicci ka a wurare dan nayi ruwa na sama wurin da a lokaci da dama shi ruwa ya kai ko kuwa ruwa ya gudu shiga. Shine misali kamar ruwan maramta a wata inda gobe za mu tafi. Wurin da wanda ke sa unguwar abokubi da zo ya wuce hanyar ruwa. Hakin yi ruwa ɗanta zai gina na kuma ya shiga karkashin motoyin na shiga inda ake kiran club. A waɗannan wuraren da kuka bai kamata ya gina da cikin ba.
Amma yanzu an yi gidaje an yi gini wurin duka.
An yi gini an tattare wurare na duka cikin rajiyar da aka nuna can talbishin ta gani kamar wasu ma ba gidaje aka yi ba an yi ruwan ya fi tattare kasar da sai sa ruwan na cikin ya fi cikin kasar. Da irin waɗannan ababen na muke magana kamar ya ka ruwa da yawa kamar awa zuwa 5 zuwa 6. Ko da ma ruwan da yi da yawa bai na yin kadan saboda lokaci mai tsawon nan. Kamar ruwa na yawan kansa ta domin yanzu kowa kuma yake yana so ya sa pavement block cikin gidan shi.
According to Alhaji Mohammed Chafaram, the Ghana Meteorological Agency has issued a storm alert warning that rain moving in from Benin and Togo will affect Accra and parts of the western region today. Drivers are strongly advised to stop driving immediately if visibility becomes too poor. Safety precautions should be taken to avoid accidents on flooded roads.
Maganar bukadan da za mu yi ne yau haka mun samu weather warning. Mun samu forecast da safin na Meteorological Agency kamar nan zuwa da ranar an yi ruwa ya fi ruwan kasan Benin ya shigo cikin Togo ya shigo Ghana. Da ranar Accra mun samu hadari. Da jami'in zuwa wajen region da wuraren da duka an samu babban ruwa. Kuma shekarar da muna gani suna faɗi kamar hadirin da za mu samu da yana zuwa da iska ne. Ita kowa ya kai da hankali, especially masu tuki motoci. Duka gan kamar ana ruwa ka san titi ya cika ba ka gani inda za ka tafi nan, especially inda akwai bridge. Duka ce kamar ta saba zuwa wurin. Idan wani da kayan za ka shiga cikin rami ba ka gani.
Haka nan ne.
Yasa ya kamata kowa ya mai da hankali kai da kuma kake tafiya kan tare da gani a gurin na yin da kan ne don wani wuri kalle ne.
Residents in flood-prone areas are urged to stay alert, move to higher ground when necessary, and monitor official weather updates to stay informed.
The news continues with business, international and sports after this short break. Do stay.
The search is on. Are you a Muslim between 18 and 30 years, passionate, driven and ready to showcase your talent? Baina TV proudly presents a unique reality experience, The Ummah Show. Are you ready to make an impact by reciting the Holy Quran, spoken word, poetry or public speaking, arts, design or digital creativity, innovation, entrepreneurship or storytelling? The Ummah Show is here to empower you and nurture your talent into the next big star. With some amazing prizes to be won, stand a chance to win a fully sponsored Umrah package, capacity building opportunities, and some amazing cash prizes. No long forms, no boring stuff, just your best self. Be bold, be part of something different. Apply now at umma.bainamultimedia.com or call us on 0539 487757. The Ummah Show. Definitely different.
You're welcome back. You're still watching Baina Midday News. Now the business news. Ranking member on the Finance Committee of Parliament and a former Finance Minister, Dr. Mohammed Amin Adam, says the recent acknowledgement by President John Dramani Mahama attributing the appreciation of the Ghanaian cedi to the country's robust gross international reserves validates the prudent economic policies of the previous NPP administration. As of April 2025, Ghana's reserves stand at $10.6 billion, with a substantial $8.98 billion inherited from the NPP government.
According to the former finance minister, President Mahama's acknowledgement confirms that the current NDC administration has benefited from strong macroeconomic buffers established under the Akufo-Addo-Bawumia era rather than implementing new stabilizing policies. Minister for Finance Ato Forsen also confirmed that the Gold Board program, which involves buying and selling gold for foreign exchange, remains a key tool for achieving currency stability. Dr. Amin Adam emphasized that the NDC government has merely continued the seismic policy shift introduced by the NPP to leverage Ghana's gold reserves as a strategic weapon against currency depreciation. Between May 2023 and December 2024, the NPP administration aggressively built gold reserves from 8.78 to 30.53 tons, enabling the Gold for Forest initiative that underpins current efforts. The minority is concerned, however, about inconsistencies in reserve data and the slow pace of gold accumulation under the NDC government, which has added less than 1 metric ton to gold reserves since January 2025. Dr. Amin Adam called for transparency, urging the Bank of Ghana and Gold Board to reconcile these figures and provide Parliament with a full account of forest movements.
Still on business, the Ministry of Communication, Digital Technology and Innovations is working towards ensuring a reduction in connectivity costs by the end of 2025. The Sector Minister, Samuel Nate George, said a committee that was set up in February 2025 has developed a roadmap that would lead to the drop in data prices. Mr. George said the committee, which included telecom companies, the National Communication Authority, and other sector players, worked for 13 days without receiving any payment from taxpayers.
The minister, who is also the Member of Parliament for Ningu Pram, was speaking to an event to commemorate this year's World Telecommunication and Information Society Day at a ceremony in Accra last Monday on the theme Gender Equality in Digital Transformation. He said an earlier statement he made on working to reduce data costs has been misinterpreted on social media. He expressed trust in the technical content of the regulator of work with the telecom companies to ensure the viability of businesses and also ensure that customers get better value for what they pay for.
A roadmap does not mean that in 14 days data prices would have dropped. In 13 days, that committee, working without receiving a penny from the taxpayers' coffers, delivered a roadmap. On the basis of that roadmap, I made the Director General of the NCA and the regulator engage with stakeholders. There's a CEO of one of the telecom companies here on what we could do in the immediate, in the medium term, and the long term. Look, we're dealing with 8 years of distortion of the market. I wish I could fix it arbitrarily, but it takes a very calculated attempt not to create further distortions by acting irrationally. And so to the young people of our country and the people of this country, my promise was that by the end of this year, we would see prices of data drop. And I remain committed to it. We will deliver on that, but trust the process.
Away from business, let's go to the central region where a police operation targeting illicit drug peddlers at Dominasi in the Gomwa East District of the Central Region has turned violent, resulting in the death of a civilian and injuries to 3 police officers. The incident occurred during a crackdown aimed at dismantling a suspected drug trafficking network in the area.
Officers from the Ghana Police Service encountered fierce resistance from the alleged drug peddlers, leading to a confrontation. During the crash, a civilian believed to be connected to the peddler was fatally wounded. The identities of the deceased and injured officers have not yet been released. Police sources confirm that 3 officers sustained various degrees of injury and are currently receiving medical treatment. The Ghana Police Service is yet to issue a full statement, but residents report heightened security presence in the area as investigations continue.
Moving on with the international news, authorities in Tanzania have blocked access to the social media platform X, formerly known as Twitter, following a series of cyber attacks that targeted official government accounts, spreading false and explicit content. The move comes amid rising political tension in the country ahead of the upcoming general elections scheduled for October